Everything about love and hip-hop has been turned into a mess by the internet fire. There's a good reason why Kirk Frost is AMGRY. A video of Rasheeda and Mendeecees that was shared has shown drama like we've never seen it before. People who like Rasheeda and Mendeecees are shocked and want to know what really happened between them behind the scenes. And just when you thought things couldn't get any messier, Kirk makes an unbelievable claim that has everyone talking. He supposedly doubts that Rasheeda's unborn child is even his. Yes, Kirk is said to be sure that there's more to this than meets the eye, and he wants to know what's going on. There is betrayal, secret keeping, and anger going on all at the same time, and the business is struggling to keep up. The real question is how this video got out there in the first place. Who let it get out? And is there any truth to Kirk's shocking claims? We're breaking it all down, from the wild comments to the insider sources spilling tea. Hold on tight, because this story is only just beginning. It's about to get really bad between Kirk Frost, Rasheeda, and Mendeecees Harris, and fans can't believe what's happening. Kirk has always been known for his explosive responses, but this is something else. The leaked footage of Rasheeda and Mendeecees has sent shockwaves across social media, and Kirk's fury is hard to ignore. Reports say he was blindsided, completely unaware that such a video even existed. But the moment he saw it, everything changed. His trust, his wife, his entire reality came crashing down in an instant. Sources close to the situation say that Kirk was at home when he first got wind of the leaked footage. At first, he brushed it off as another internet scam. He had seen rumors spread about Rasheeda before, and he had learned to ignore the gossip. But when he actually saw the video, that was a different story. Kirk's blood ran cold, his hands clenched into fists, and in that moment, he knew this wasn't just useless speculation. This was something that couldn't be ignored. The footage allegedly shows Rasheeda and Mendeecees in a private setting, laughing, talking closely, and acting way too familiar for Kirk's comfort. While there's nothing outright scandalous in the clip, the intimacy between them is obvious. The body language, the words, the way they look at each other. It's enough to set off alarms. But here's where things take an even darker turn. As Kirk watched, his mind started racing. He started connecting dots, remembering past arguments, secretive behavior, and moments where Rasheeda seemed distant. Could this really be happening? Was there more going on between them than she ever let on? And then, the real shocker hit. Kirk started asking if Rasheeda's pregnancy had anything to do with Mendeecees. That's right. Kirk is now allegedly convinced that there's a possibility, no matter how small, that Rasheeda's unborn child might not be his. And this accusation, it's throwing the internet into a complete frenzy. Some fans are siding with Kirk, saying his anger is deserved, while others think he's reaching, letting his insecurities and past mistakes cloud his judgment. But no matter what side people are on, one thing is clear: this is a crisis that no one saw coming. Inside sources say that Kirk wasted no time confronting Rasheeda. The moment he processed what he had just seen, he stormed into their bedroom, his voice shaking with a mix of rage and confusion. "What the hell is this, Rasheeda?" he allegedly shouted, holding up his phone with the footage playing. "You think I wouldn't find out? You think this wouldn't come back to me?" Rasheeda, caught off guard, barely had time to reply. At first, she was confused and protective. "What are you even talking about, Kirk?" she snapped, trying to grab his phone to see what had him so worked up. But Kirk wasn't having it. He pulled back, shaking his head. "Don't play dumb with me. I need answers right now." But instead of getting the truth he was looking for, all Kirk got was more anger. Rasheeda claimed she had no idea where the footage came from, that it was pulled out of context. "You really think I'd do something like this, after everything we've been through?" she shot back, her voice filled with anger. But Kirk wasn't convinced. His mind was already spinning with worst-case scenarios, his anger boiling over with every passing second. And then came the words that changed everything. "Is that baby even mine, Rasheeda?" The room fell silent. Rasheeda's eyes widened in shock, her breath catching in her throat. For a moment, neither of them spoke. The weight of Kirk's charge hung between them like a dark cloud, suffocating, inescapable. Rasheeda's hand shook as she took a step back, disbelief washing over her. "Are you serious right now?" she whispered, her voice barely above a breath. But Kirk wasn't backing down. "Answer the damn question," he growled, his patience totally gone. And that's when Rasheeda snapped. "How dare you even say that?" She screamed, her face flushed with rage. "After everything we've been through, after all the times you messed up, you have the nerve to accuse me?" Her voice cracked, tears forming in her eyes, but Kirk wasn't moved. To him, this wasn't about past mistakes. It was about trust, and right now, he had none left for her. Meanwhile, the internet was already on fire. Fans were dissecting every second of the leaked footage, looking for clues, trying to determine if there was anything more going on between Rasheeda and Mendeecees. Some claimed the body language was proof of something deeper, while others insisted it was just an innocent moment blown out of proportion. But no matter which side they took, the damage was already done. Kirk's doubts had been planted, and there was no going back. And as tensions escalated, one question loomed over everything: who leaked the film in the first place? Because while Kirk was busy confronting Rasheeda, someone out there had knowingly put this video into the spotlight, knowing exactly what it would do. Was this a planned setup? A planned move to destroy Rasheeda and Kirk's relationship from the inside out? Or was there really something more to this story that hadn't yet come to light? As Kirk and Rasheeda's heated argument continued, the truth seemed further out of reach than ever. And just when it seemed like things couldn't get worse, a new news was about to drop, one that would shake their world even more. Rasheeda stood frozen, her mind racing to understand what had just happened. Kirk's words rang in her head like a thunderclap. "Is that baby even mine?" The sheer audacity of the charge left her breathless. This wasn't just about a movie anymore. This was about trust, loyalty, and everything they had built together. Her hands clenched into fists as she fought to steady her feelings, but the fire in her eyes said it all. "You've lost your damn mind, Kirk." She spat, her voice shaking with rage. "After everything you've done, after all the times you made me question this marriage, you really have the nerve to put this on me?" But Kirk wasn't having it. His anger was already past the point of reason. "This isn't about the past, Rasheeda. This is about right now. And right now, I just saw a video of you and Mendeecees looking real damn comfortable, and I'm supposed to just ignore it." His voice was sharp, cutting through the stress like a knife. Rasheeda snorted, shaking her head in disbelief. "Comfortable? That's what you got from that?" You see a few seconds of some out-of-context clip, and suddenly I'm cheating? Suddenly my baby ain't even yours. Kirk ran a hand down his face, anger boiling over. "Don't twist this around on me, Rasheeda. You're the one with all these lies. You're the one getting caught up in these messy situations." The fight was escalating fast, and neither one of them was backing down. Meanwhile, social media was already in a rage. Fans were split, with some calling Kirk's claims reckless and disgusting, while others pointed out that the video did seem suspicious. Hashtags like #KirkExposed, #RasheedaLoyaltyTest, and #HolyIkPit were already trending, and the gossip was only getting worse. But behind closed doors, Kirk and Rasheeda's fight was far from over. "You know what?" Rasheeda's voice was eerily calm now, her eyes locked onto Kirk's with a fiery focus. "I have done nothing but stand by you. Through all your crap, through all the lies, the cheating, the humiliation, and now when I need you to believe in me, you throw this in my face." Kirk's jaw tensed. "Rasheeda, No, Kirk, you don't get to flip this on me. You don't get to act like some victim when you are the last person who should be questioning anybody's loyalty." Kirk fell quiet, but the rage in his eyes didn't fade. He wasn't ready to back down, and the damage was already done. He had put the question out there, and no matter how much Rasheeda denied it, he couldn't erase the doubt in his thoughts. But then, another surprise dropped. Just as their disagreement reached its peak, Kirk's phone buzzed. Another notice, another message, and when he glanced at the screen, his stomach dropped. A second video had leaked, and this time, it wasn't just a few innocent moments between Rasheeda and Mendeecees. This one was worse. Kirk's entire body tensed as he clicked on the link. His hands were shaking, his breaths uneven. Rasheeda noticed the change in his expression instantly. What now? She snapped, her patience running thin. Kirk didn't answer. He just hit play. The second video wasn't long, maybe 30 seconds, but it was enough to send him into a downward slide. This one showed Rasheeda and Mendeecees in a dimly lit room, sitting close together, their heads nearly touching as they talked to each other. And then, the part that made Kirk's blood boil, Mendeecees reached out and tucked a stray piece of hair behind Rasheeda's ear. It was a simple gesture, small, barely important. But in Kirk's mind, it was everything. His grip on the phone tightened. What the hell is this? He growled, turning the screen toward Rasheeda. Rasheeda's eyes flickered to the video, her face unreadable. Kirk, I don't know where this is coming from, but you need to calm the hell down. Calm down? Are you serious? Kirk's voice was loud now, booming through the house. How many more of these damn movies are out there? Rasheeda exhaled quickly, pinching the bridge of her nose. Kirk, listen to me. Nothing happened. Whatever this is, whatever people are trying to spin, it's not what you think. But Kirk wasn't hearing any of it. You think I'm blind, Rasheeda. You think I don't see what's going on. And I'm supposed to believe this baby is mine after seeing this. And just like that, the fight broke again. Meanwhile, the internet was going crazy. The second video had gone viral within minutes, and fans were analyzing every single frame. Some claimed it was proof that Rasheeda and Mendeecees had something going on, while others insisted it was all a plan. Theories ran wild. Was this an old movie resurfacing? Was someone trying to ruin Rasheeda's reputation? Or was Kirk actually onto something? Then, another twist. An insider source, who claimed to be close to Mendeecees, spoke out. And what they said? It only made things worse. Kirk has every right to be mad, the anonymous source shared. This isn't the first time people have talked about Rasheeda and Mendeecees being a little too friendly. People in the business have been side-eyeing them for a while now. The internet lost it. But the biggest question remained. Who shared the videos? Who was behind this mess? Was it someone trying to stir up trouble for attention? Or was there a deeper, more personal motive? One name kept coming up, Yandy. Fans started speculating that Yandy Smith, Mendeecees' wife, might have been the one to leak the film. After all, she had access, she had reason, and she definitely had a past of being caught up in messy situations. And while Kirk and Rasheeda's marriage was on the verge of full destruction, another storm was brewing, because if Yandy was involved, things were about to get even messier. But before Kirk could even understand all that, another shock was coming his way. Because just when he thought he had seen the worst of it, another message popped up on his phone. And this one was about to change everything. Kirk's heart pounded as he stared at his phone screen. Another notice, another message, and this time it wasn't just a video. This was something much worse. His hands trembled as he tapped the screen, showing a text from an unknown number. You don't even know the half of it. If you really want the truth about Rasheeda and Mendeecees, call me. I'll tell you every wee thing. Kirk's breath caught in his throat. His mind raced, thoughts clashing as paranoia set in. Who was this? How did they get his number? And what did they know? His grip on the phone tightened as his anger bubbled over. Rasheeda noticed the change in his expression instantly. Kirk, what now? Her voice was weary, exhausted from the never-ending cycle of charges and explanations. Kirk slowly lifted his gaze, his jaw clenched tight. Somebody just sent me a message, saying they know more about you and Mendeecees. Rasheeda's face twisted with annoyance. More? Kirk, are you seriously still hearing this nonsense? Kirk ignored her. His fingers hovered over the screen, debating. Should he call? Could he handle what he might hear? Every sense told him to leave it alone, but his pride, his rage wouldn't let him. Before he could decide, his phone buzzed again. This time, it was a voice note. His thumb hesitated for a moment, but the urge was too strong. He pressed play. A garbled voice crackled through the speaker. Kirk, I tried warning you before, but you didn't listen. This ain't just about a movie. Rasheeda and Mendeecees been moving funny for months. And that baby. You might want to get a DNA test. Trust me, the air in the room grew heavy, thick with stress. Rasheeda's eyes opened as she heard the message, her breath hitching. Kirk, you better not be believing this. Kirk's face was unreadable, his jaw locked tight. His thoughts were a storm of emotions, rage, doubt, betrayal. Who the hell is this? He whispered under his breath, his mind spiraling. Then, without notice, he grabbed his keys. Where are you going? Rasheeda called after him, her voice desperate now. Kirk turned at the door, his face cold, unreadable, to find out the truth. And just like that, he was gone. The streets blurred past him as he sped through Atlanta, gripping the steering wheel with white-knuckled fury. His thoughts replayed everything. The videos, the accusations, the voice message. He needed answers, and he needed them now. His destination? Mendeecees. It didn't take long before he arrived at a familiar spot. Mendeecees' go-to bar, where he was known to chill when things got tense. Kirk pulled up, stepped out, and stormed inside without pause. And sure enough, there he was. Mendeecees was sat in a private booth, scrolling through his phone, sipping on a drink. He looked up just in time to see Kirk approaching, his eyes furrowed in confusion. Kirk, what's up, man? Kirk didn't waste a second. He slammed his hands on the table, eyes burning. Cut the crap, Mendeecees. I want to know right now, what the hell is going on between you and Rasheeda? Mendeecees sat back, unmoved. Excuse me? You heard me. Kirk's voice was a dangerous growl. First, a tape leaks. Now some mystery person is hitting me up saying I need a damn DNA test. You better start talking, man, before I lose my damn mind. Mendeecees' face darkened. He set his drink down, sighing deeply. Look, man, I don't know who's feeding you all this mess, but I swear, I ain't got nothing going on with Rasheeda. Kirk wasn't buying it. Then explain the videos. Explain why people in the business been saying y'all been too friendly. Mendeecees rubbed his temples, frustration evident. Kirk, listen to yourself, bro. You really think I would go behind your back like that? You think I would risk everything? My marriage, my name for what? A rumor? Kirk clenched his hands, breathing heavily. I want to believe you, man, but I can't ignore what I've been seeing, what I've been hearing. Mendeecees inhaled sharply. Then maybe you should ask yourself why somebody is trying so hard to push this narrative. Kirk frowned. What are you saying? Mendeecees leaned in, lowering his voice. Somebody wants to break you and Rasheeda up, and whoever it is, they're doing a damn good job. Kirk's mind reeled. Could this really be a setup? And if so, who would go to such lengths? Then, almost as if on cue, another message popped up on his phone. This time, it was a picture. His breath caught in his throat. It was a text exchange between an anonymous sender and Yandy Smith. Anonymous. It's done. The videos are out. Kirk is losing it. Yandy, good. Make sure he keeps questioning everything. Kirk's blood ran cold. His grip on the phone tightened as his hands started to shake. Yandy, he whispered, understanding dawning. She's behind this? Mendeecees grabbed the phone, his eyes scanning the message. His face darkened instantly. No way. Kirk's world spun. Everything was falling down around him. Yandy, the movies, the words, the tales, and the worst part, Rasheeda had no idea that her own friend might be the one pulling the strings. Kirk's heart pounded in his ears as he turned to Mendeecees, his voice low and dangerous. I need to face her. Now, Mendeecees stood up, his face unreadable. I'm coming with you. And with that, the two men stormed out, ready to face the one person neither of them expected to betray them. But what they didn't know, Yandy wasn't going to go down without a fight. And the truth, it was far worse than they ever imagined. Kirk and Mendeecees stormed out of the lounge, their thoughts racing, their blood boiling. The news that Yandy might be behind everything sent Kirk into a tailspin. He barely noticed the sound of the car engine roaring to life as he sped toward Yandy's place. The entire time, Mendeecees sat beside him, quiet but tense, his fists clenched as he processed the betrayal. The drive was a blur, but Kirk's thoughts were crystal clear. If Yandy had been the mastermind behind this chaos, if she was the one feeding the rumors, leaking the footage, and fueling his worries about Rasheeda, then she had some serious explaining to do. By the time they pulled up in front of Yandy's house, Kirk was already out of the car, moving toward the front door with fire in his eyes. He didn't even knock. He pounded on the door, his patience non-existent. Yandy, open the damn door. There was a brief silence, and then slowly the door creaked open. Yandy stood there, her face a mix of confusion and annoyance. Kirk, what the hell is wrong with you? Kirk didn't waste time. He shoved his phone in her face, showing her the leaked texts. You tell me, Yandy, you've been out here playing games with my life, my marriage. Why? Yandy's eyes flickered as she glanced at the screen. For a moment, her face stayed unreadable. Then she let out a short, humorless laugh and crossed her arms. So you finally figured it out. Mendeecees stepped forward, his voice low and dangerous. Yandy, what the hell have you done? Yandy sighed, shaking her head. You two act like I was wrong for what I did. Kirk's body tensed. You leaked that damn video. You put out those rumors about Rasheeda and Mendeecees. And now you got people in my ear telling me to get a damn DNA test for my own child. How the hell is any of that justifiable? Yandy scoffed, rolling her eyes. Oh, please, Kirk. Don't act like you ain't been asking Rasheeda for months now. I just gave you a little push. Kirk clenched his jaw, his hands shaking. A little push? You damn near me marriage. Mendeecees' voice cut through the tension like a blade. Yandy, why? Just tell me why. Yandy sighed, looking between the two of them. Then, finally, she spoke. Because Rasheeda had it coming. Silence. Kirk's gut dropped. Mendeecees' eyes darkened. Yandy continued, her voice steady, like she had practiced this moment 1,000 times. You think she's so innocent? You think she hasn't been playing her own little games? I just did what needed to be done. Somebody had to expose her. Kirk felt like the floor had been ripped out from under him. Expose her? What the hell are you talking about? Yandy tilted her head. Rasheeda's not the woman you think she is. I've known things for a long time, Kirk. I've seen things. You think that video leak was bad. You don't even know the half of what she's been up to. Mendeecees frowned, stepping closer. Yandy, you better not be lying right now, because if you err, Yandy cut him off. I'm not lying. And if you don't believe me, maybe you should check Rasheeda's phone. The words hit Kirk like a slap. Check Rasheeda's phone. Was Yandy bluffing? Or was there actually something he hadn't seen? For a moment, doubt flickered in Kirk's mind. The same doubt that had been building ever since the rumor started, ever since the movie, ever since the claims. Was it possible that Rasheeda had been hiding something? Mendeecees noticed the pause in Kirk's eyes. Man, don't let her mess with your head, he warned. She's playing you. Yandy laughed. Am I? Or am I just showing Kirk the truth he doesn't want to see? Kirk's breathing grew heavy. His hands trembled at his sides. He didn't know what to think anymore. Then, without another word, he turned and stormed out. Mendeecees followed, shaking his head. Kirk, don't do this, man. You know Yandy's got her own plan. Kirk didn't reply. His mind was already made up. If there was even a chance that Yandy was telling the truth, he needed to find out for himself. And there was only one way to do that. The moment Kirk got home, he found Rasheeda sitting on the couch, looking through her phone. She looked up when he walked in, and instantly, she could tell something was wrong. "Kirk, what happened?" Kirk didn't answer. He just held out his hand. "Give me your phone." Rasheeda's brow wrinkled. "Excuse me?" "Give me your phone, Rasheeda," Kirk repeated, his voice cold. "Right now?" Rasheeda's eyes widened with surprise. "Are you serious right now?" Kirk nodded. Dead serious. A tense silence stretched between them. Rasheeda's grip on her phone tightened. For a moment, she looked like she was about to argue, but then she sighed and gave it over. Kirk's heart pounded as he unlocked it and started scrolling. Messages, emails, photos. He combed through everything, looking for something, anything, that would prove Yandy was lying. And then his fingers stopped. A chat thread with Mendeecees. His breath caught in his throat. His hand shook. The texts weren't explicit, nothing that directly proved an affair, but there was an obvious closeness and intimacy in the way they spoke. Late night texts, inside jokes, conversations that felt too personal. Kirk's stomach twisted. Was this proof? Was Yandy right? He looked up at Rasheeda, his face unreadable. "Explain this." Rasheeda's eyes flickered to the screen, and instantly, she exhaled sharply. "Kirk, that's not what you think it is." Kirk clenched his jaw. "Then tell me what it is, Rasheeda. Because I swear to God, if you lie to me right now." Rasheeda stood up, her words firm. "I don't owe you a reason for friendship." "Friendship?" Kirk let out a sour laugh. "So y'all just friends, huh? Funny how friends be texting at 3 in the damn morning." Rasheeda's face toughened. "If you really think I'd deceive you like that, then maybe you don't deserve to be with me." The words hit Kirk like a dagger. Silence filled the room. Mendeecees had been right. This was exactly what somebody wanted, to break them apart. But was it Yandy? Or had Rasheeda really been playing him all along? Kirk didn't know what to believe anymore. And as he stood there, looking at his wife, one thing became painfully clear. This wasn't over. Not by a long shot. And just like that, the drama between Kirk, Rasheeda, and Mendeecees has taken a turn no one saw coming. With Yandy stirring the pot and Kirk now questioning everything, the future of their marriage hangs in the balance. Is Rasheeda really hiding something? Or is this all just another twisted game of manipulation? We want to hear your thoughts. Do you think Kirk is exaggerating, or does he have a reason to be suspicious? And what about Yandy? Was she exposing the truth, or just trying to cause chaos? Drop your views in the comments below, because this story is far from over. And if you don't want to miss out on the next explosive update, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post alerts. Trust us, you won't want to miss what happens next.